Our big warbird demonstration out here this afternoon, and Dick Milan and all his crew getting it all put together. Embassy Suites Hotel in Hilton Inn Northwest, located on South Meridian. Northwest on the north. Come on. Both Kurt McGee and the Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce have watched and helped this Oklahoma City.
South Community Hospital has been instrumental in their support of Aerospace America, and we again welcome their participation.
Well, you just tell what time it is in different parts of the world.
There are water fountains there, and there's also a bank of payphones over there in case you have to call home. Don't forget to pick up your program, $3, and around 3 o'clock today, we're going to do it.
The imminent invasion that we thought was going to be at the Philippine Islands people doing over 50 years ago.
White pilot is Von Olson, and he's from Southern Texas, Southwest Airlines pilot, former Marine Corps F-4 fighter pilot, and advanced jet flight instructor at the Naval 15s. They actually shot down Big 15 and gone now. Just up to that vertical line. Of course, this type of airplane was made famous by Pappy Boyington in the series Pappy,
NBC series,
but Pappy himself actually made it famous.
Watch now as you see the F-4U Corsair come streaking down out of the sky. Once again, this was the very first fighter aircraft capable of level flight speeds in excess of 400 miles an hour. And you gotta remember, 50 years ago, that was quite an accomplishment. You see the beautiful gull-wing design of this aircraft, originally designed for the Navy during World War II. But due to landing gear problems, the F-4U Corsair bounced too much when it landed on the runway and made it real unstable as far as using it on board aircraft carriers. It wasn't until a little bit later on, testing and development, redesigned the landing gear, so the Navy decided that, well, we'll dump it off on the Marines. We'll let them have it. You can see as the F-4U Corsair comes back around from your right, building at speed over 300 miles an hour. Watch him now. The F-4U Corsair pulls the stake back. This beautiful aircraft over the skies of Oklahoma this morning. As once again, the aircraft is rolls right over the top. Again, you see the paint scheme, the blue paint scheme. During World War II, of course, aircraft were camouflaged in many different paint schemes. In the South Pacific, since most of the time was spent over the water, most of the aircraft were painted in different shades of blue to make them harder to recognize and harder to see over the water. Once again, this aircraft being used by the Navy and the Marines during World War II. The Royal Canadian, or Royal Air Force, and England also had an allotment of F-4U Corsairs, but they made the biggest. Followed right behind by the real, authentic Japanese Zero, the F-4F Wildcat, and the Corsair, a beautiful display of aircraft here in Aerospace America. Again, these are the frontline aircraft. These are the planes that fought the combat, that fought in the skies in the South Pacific, over Europe, in North Africa. These are the planes we were still flying. These are our first-line planes during the outbreak of World War II. And in just 4.5 years, we went from biplanes to jet aircraft during World War II, that great conflict between 1939 and 1940. Real one, by the way, one of only 2 flying in the world today. The F-4F Wildcat, flown by Marine and Navy pilots at the outbreak of World War II on December 7th. And of course, the beautiful F-4F Corsair.
The F-4 Wildcat, of course, is one of the great part of the cat family. After the
Boys were tough. Young men had to be at least 18 years of age, with at least 2 years of college level math, engineering, reading, and be physically fit to qualify as an aviation cadet. The training aircraft you see flying today are identical to those aircraft used to train pilots during World War II. Aviation cadets began with 65 aircraft primary training, like the PT-22, PT-26, and PT-17. Next, 45-hour T-6 Texan, like the T-6 Texans that you see here flying today. Experienced combat pilots came home from the front to teach firsthand the techniques of combat flying. Solo flying, night flying, formation flying, air-to-air combat training. The pilot training course lasted 10 months with 200 hours of flying time. 3 out of 5 aviation cadets passed with the right and honor to wear the wings of the U.S. Army Air Force, the Navy, or Marines. When World War I, we had trained 3,000 airmen were qualified by the end of World War II. So you can see the massive undertaking that erupted during World War II as the planes began to fill the skies here at Aerobatic. Again, here comes a beautiful formation from your right. Get your cameras ready, your VCRs ready. A beautiful flight of aircraft, and you got to realize 50 years ago, they were not friendly to one another. Arch enemies flying here in peace over the skies of Oklahoma. The P-51 Mustang, the Japanese Zero, the F-4F Wildcat, and the F-4U Corsair.
That bike is a good lineup up there of what you saw fighting in World War II.
Again, aviation history taking to the skies of Aerospace America on the takeoff roll. The beautiful B-24. Desert camouflage of the North African camp in England. This aircraft, although it looks a lot like the B-24, is actually, as Bill mentioned, the LB-30 taking off now. The legendary DC-3. This aircraft ended up in Navy markings called the R-4D, as I mentioned earlier. The TBM Grumman torpedo bomber was the very first aircraft of its type to actually carry the torpedo inside the fuselage of the aircraft. This point, T-6 Texas, into the sky. Now, if you look to the right, the only one of this aircraft flying left in the world, the SB-2C Helldiver, flown by the Navy during World War II, an aircraft carrier plane. This is the last one of its kind flying in the world. Taking off now underneath the T-6 Texas, you'll see the Yak fighter.
As the Twin Beaches are taking off at the T-6.
More aircraft taking into the sky here at Aerospace America, as you see the beautiful C-45s. These aircraft are used, of course, as military transports. As a matter of fact, we have one here today that is painted up with the markings that Ira C. Aker, a fellow Oklahoman, used. He commanded the 8th Air Force during World War II. He flew one of the 45er here. One taking off right in front of us is called the AT-11 Kansas. It has the large plexiglass nose in the front. This aircraft is used to train bombardiers at the outbreak of World War II. Another legendary aircraft now taking to the skies, the B-25 Mitchell, the aircraft that made history in April of 1942. 16 of these aircraft flew off the aircraft carrier Hornet and made a surprise attack on Tokyo, one that was never expected. Although it didn't do much in the way of damage, it was a great morale booster at the outbreak of World War II. You have to realize that we shot and had a big defeat on December 7th, 1941, but on April of 1940, many other nations. Watch now as they begin to approach from your right. The sights and sounds of World War II. Off to your left, the landing lights are on. These are the training aircraft, the AT-6 Texans. The training plane that literally every World War II pilot got his training in. During the war, you hear us call these planes by numbers and letters. During World War II, letter designation indicated what type of plane it was. During World War II, fighter planes were not called fighters yet. They were called pursuit aircraft. So they were called the P-51, the P-40, the P-38. Again, designating what type of aircraft they were. B for bomber, C for cargo aircraft, T for training aircraft. It's a way of helping to identify what type of planes they were. Watch now, get your cameras ready. A beautiful sight as the North American T-6 Texan training aircraft lead the way, followed by the legendary B-17 bomber, the hero of the daylight bombing raids over Europe during World War II. To each side, pulling around the formation of the B-17, all the aircraft used during their tour demonstration. These are the same planes that were used in the movie Tour, modified trainers that were designed to look like Japanese aircraft, followed by the Lockheed Constellation, the B-24. 59 aircraft in formation. Ladies and gentlemen, listen now, the sights and sounds of World War II.
airplane to Mobilization 200. As he stand rolls out of the handstand turn, coming back in now once again. Working the airplane off the deck. Always working the aircraft in towards the audience. Now right out the deck starts up for the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4-point hesitation roll. Up 1 quarter, the 1.5 outside snap. Upside down, all the way around. 1.5 times to the right side of position. Setting up now for a maneuver we call the square loop. We'll loop aside across the bottom side number 1. Up on the right is side number 2. Upside down and horizontal is side number 3. Find in enough one. As the earth comes up to be complete, landing in a place. Side number 4. Now once again, setting up for the hesitation roll to the upside down position. Slow roll to the right side up. The pull back on the stick. The hesitation rolls all the way up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. As the airspeed reaches 0, in comes slow left rudder. This little turn, that's the hammerhead turn. Straight back down once again. And the step roll all the way down. Now let's come back in. We have seen the inside of our solar loop. We have seen the square loop. Let's watch the wheel. This set up for the octagon. Or inside the loop. Look out. There's 1 and 2 straight up. 45 lines straight. Across the top is number 4, number 5, 6 feet down. Number 7, the last 25 degree down line. 1 more pull, 6, and the wheel has to be the inside of the loop. Now we can do it. The 5 this time, all the way up. 1, 2 points. 4-point hesitation roll. Now there's the cover to the negative field side. This time, left foot. And a half. To the upside down position. Now, in negative G. Rolls tonight. The straight forward. And it's actually getting the circle. They've got the Daniel and that great pilot, Leo now. Finishing out that circle. Holding the airplane to the right side up position. Going back on the stick immediately once again. You see the great performance that is the Bud Light 200. Now as he comes back into the Airshow line, you're going to see a maneuver that was made even more famous by the motion picture The Great Wall of Never. It is the outside, or negative G loop. Leo pushing the ball down stick this time to get negative G's. Once again, trying to force him out of the cockpit. Across the top of the loop now. Sensation of justice for the movement. And pulls the airplane. And the loop to the inside, or negative G environment. And the loop to the outside, or inside, or positive G maneuver. Now to the inside, outside loop complete. When Leo comes back from the left, the next maneuver will be believe it or not, on one pass. He will set up for a double pass on the right, following immediately by a roll to the left, followed by a hand roll to the right, followed by a hand outside snap, followed by a 3/4 roll to the right, and concluding with a 3/4 outside snap. All in one pass, impossible, you say? Get ready for this. Leo calls this the computer roll. There's the double snap to the right. Now watch. All the way around. Now half outside snap. Now 3/4 roll. Now 3/4 outside snap. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. He did it. The computer roll finally arrived. He will then roll to the first position and continue dodge to 500 feet above the ground. Down on the element, now second, and continue in the opposite direction. All the way to the sky, and then he strives to figure 8. And closer to the 8-10 will go to devastating firepower. The destroyed target is in close proximity to our ground forces. They can carry a wide variety of modern weapons, including highly accurate precision guided munitions, such as the Maverick missile and laser guided bombs. As Maverick comes down to reach the task to unity, number 4 is outstanding maneuverability, enabling the A-10 to work effectively under marginal weather conditions. The A-10 turn radius in this maneuver is only 1,400 feet. This tight turn radius allows the A-10 to deliver 4 or 5 large long ranges and maintain the force of the arms to the right. Captain Martino is now positioning for a simulated straight pass. The A-10's 30mm Gatling gun revives a pilot with a weapon that has a devastating effect on enemy tanks. The 30mm projectile delivers 7 times the destructive energy of the more conventional 20mm round. Just 17 seconds to be back in the firing position. 2 agents working together. That's what we're all in the game. With the aim on the target. Remember, 10 seconds.
Incidentally, this airplane, with all its stealth technology into it, has many parts in it, as far as the gear and a lot of the avionics and what have you, that are right off the shelf that were incorporated into many other aircraft. The main real secret of this airplane is the stealth technology or low observability on radar screens that made it so successful for delivering its ordnance in Desert Storm. The first flight of the F-117A was in 1981, only 31 months after the full-scale development decision was made. The first operational 170 for the 117 are some of your other fighters of similar size and complexity. This technology will be updated to a planned weapon system improvement program, and this will be going out throughout the year. Yeah, the danger was an open-born pilot that the controls out here, his mother and dad been out here. It'll be left to right 59 from the left. The 117A stealth fighter at the controls, Captain Dennis Baker from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Everything was designed to give it very, very low observability on the radar screen and thereby able to sneak in under the wire with a load of ordnance, drop and pinpoint smart bombs. Now, as the stealth leaves the area, once again, let's go back to another jet, the world's smallest jet, the Coors Light Silver Bullet, and Danny Kligerman. Mason, are you...